We're back here on the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show. We talked with Judge Woodruff in the last segment about the significance of having African Americans on the bench. But the road to the bench goes through the legal pool, and that's exactly what Carl Cooper is going to talk about today. He's here on behalf of the Pennsylvania Bar Association.
That's correct.
And an awesome event coming up.
Very awesome. It is the Business Development Forum, and it is the first time we've had a business development forum specifically aimed at minority and women. The interesting thing about the forum is that it also includes any small businesses that are interested in doing work for the federal, state, or the local government. So it's going to be at the Omni Penn on the 28th, all day long, and we have over 60 panelists. And you may recall that about 10 years ago, I was working on diversity initiatives.
Right.
The same groups that were working with me 10 years ago on diversity are coming back, and now they're going to talk about what kinds of programs they've developed over these 10 years to increase the number of women and minorities in the legal profession in terms of business opportunities, and I think that's great.
Now, I used the word awesome earlier, and I just kind of was throwing it out, but as I listen to you speak now, the realities are this is awesome because there can be so many hurdles to doing business with the government that small businesses don't even know about.
Exactly, and just to give you an example, 10 years ago when I left K&L, a law firm, I had interviewed a number of students across the board and hired them at K&L. At this forum, one of the students that I interviewed is on the panel. He's the chairman of K&L's diversity committee, and he's going to talk about all of the opportunities that K&L now has. So a number of people that I've worked with before, I used to work with the Urban Redevelopment Authority. The executive director of the Redevelopment Authority, Rob Rubenstein, is going to be there himself to talk about what opportunities the Urban Redevelopment Authority have. So a number of corporations, both public and private, are going to be there. PNC, UPMC, the University of Pittsburgh Law School, where I came to teach when I first came to Pittsburgh, is going to be there and talk about what opportunities they have, both in terms of teaching opportunities and opportunities to connect their students, past and present, with future job opportunities. So it's a great opportunity.
It is, and I think that one of the things that sometimes businesses don't recognize is that a lot of these corporations that you're mentioning, PNC or UPMC or whomever, they have supplier diversity. They have programs in place, but you do have to meet whatever their hurdles are.
That's what this program is aimed at. We're going to have the key people in the positions that can pick and promote those businesses that meet their criteria. And so we're going to tell people what the criteria are. The very people who are going to select the groups or the individuals will be there. One of the interesting things is that Kerry Kirkland, who is the recently appointed Deputy Director for Diversity, Inclusion, and Small Business Opportunities for the state, is going to be there, as well as his deputy, who is the Director of Small Business Opportunities, is going to be there and talk about how do you get certified? How do you self-certify? How do you continue? How do you get into a mentor-protege program so that, for example, Freeland Cooper, which is a small group, can now partner up with exactly and grow their business, and that's been the key. You know, we've always had people coming through. The question is, how come they don't stay?
Right.
You know, Pittsburgh is always boasting about it's the #1 this and it's the comeback city of the century, but it's come back for some people. It hasn't come back for minorities, and it hasn't come back for women. To a lesser extent, a lesser extent for minorities, but to some extent it has come around for women. One of the things that I like to tell people is, when I left K&L, we had about 50% of the student population in law schools that were women. Yet today, less than 5% of women are in management or in partnership at these law firms. And if you know, if less than 5% of women are there, you can imagine how low it is. It's less than 1%.
Absolutely,
for minorities.
All right, let's tie this all together. Now, when's it going to be?
It's going to be on the 28th at the Omni Penn. It's going to be from 8 to 5:30, and it's going to sponsor almost 60 different panelists talking about their positions, their opportunities, and how small businesses are any business under 50 employees. And you know, for minorities and women, most of our businesses
are under
qualify.
50, yeah. And when you said the certification, you walked me through the certification process. That's awesome. Do I need to register in advance? How does that work?
You can register in advance, or you can register on site.
Okay.
And it's $115 if you're not a member of the Pennsylvania Bar Association. And if you're a member of the Pennsylvania Bar Association, it's about $90.
All right, perfect. Thanks so much. That
Thank
certification key, that's key.
It is.
We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, Delta Sigma Theta is celebrating an anniversary. We'll talk about that next when the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show continues.